Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Francois and today we'll be doing a quick tutorial on how to do camel pose in yoga. If you are a beginner, you will need some yoga blocks, and when you're ready, I'll meet you on your mat. Camel pose is an intense back-bending yoga pose with many benefits, so it's important to take your time to perform it correctly. It's one of the best poses to practice if you're working towards full wheel pose. Camel pose will give you the deep spinal extension without needing the arm strength and shoulder flexibility needed for wheel pose. Okay, so we're going to start seated, kneeling on our shins, with your toes untucked and your toes pointing back. Place your yoga blocks just behind your feet so you can reach them. So to do camel pose, make sure you're warmed up properly before you start. So you can do it towards the end of your workout. But if you're warmed up, we're gonna start. We're gonna start by lifting off our heels, pushing our thighs forward. Make sure your legs are hip width apart. Now you're going to engage your thighs, engage your abdominal muscles and your lower back, pulling your navel in. Place your hands on your hips and slowly start to push your hips and your thighs forward. As you start to round your back or arch your back, bring your elbows towards each other. Start to lift your chin slightly, pushing your thighs forward as much as you can. Breathing in and out through your nose, keeping control of your movements. Once you're in this position, you can start to reach one hand back. Try to place it on your heel and then your other hand on your heel. Lean back. This is where you can use your yoga block. But okay, let's do the yoga blocks later. Pushing your thighs forward. Lifting your chin. Breathe in and out through your nose. To exit the pose, drop your chin towards your chest. Bring your hands to your hips and slowly lift up, rolling your spine back up, sitting back on your heels, coming down into a child's pose.
Just take 1 or 2 deep breaths in here just to reset our spine.
Okay, let's sit up. Let's try that again. Okay, so from this position, lift off your heels, pushing your thighs forward, making sure your legs are hip width apart. Engage your thighs, engage your abdominal muscles and your lower back. Pull your navel in. Hands on your hips. Push your thighs and your hips forward as much as you can. Bring your elbows towards each other. Lift your chin. Bring your hands to your heels. Pushing your thighs and your hips forward. Lifting your chin. Breathe in and out through your nose. To exit the pose, bring your chin towards your chest. Hands to your hips. Slowly roll up the spine. Okay, to make it a little bit easier, we can keep our toes tucked. So in this variation, you're going to sit back on your heels with your toes tucked. We're going to follow the same steps. Lift off your heels, bringing your thighs forward. Legs hip width apart. Engage your thighs, engage your abdominal muscles, lower back, pull your navel in and push your thighs and hips forward. Lift your chin. Bring your hands to your heels. Lifting your chin back, pushing your thighs and hips forward. Breathe in and out through your nose. Stay in the pose for 5 breaths. exit the pose, bring your chin to your chest, your hands towards your hips, or you can cartwheel your hands up one by one to come back up. That might be a little bit easier. So that's one modification you can do to make it a bit easier. Another one you can do, you can keep your toes tucked. You're going to start on this position again. You're going to lift off your heels, pushing your thighs forward. Engage your thighs. Engage your abdominal muscles and lower back. Start pushing your thighs forward. Cartwheel your hands back one by one. Bringing them behind you. You can find a comfortable position, maybe next to your feet is going to be the most comfortable. Push your hips and your thighs forward, lifting your chin, breathing in and out through your nose. Exhale the pose, exhale chin to your chest, and cartwheel your hands back up to the front of the mat. Sit back on your heels, untuck your toes, come into child's pose just to neutralize that spine and counter the back extension. Another variation that you can try if you don't have the spinal flexibility yet is you're going to start seated, your toes untucked, back straight. Okay, so you're going to engage your abdominal muscles in your lower back, engage your thighs, lift off your heels, pushing your thighs forward, legs hip width apart. What you're going to do is you're going to push your thumbs into your lower back, what they call the sacrum, and hold onto your hips, pushing into your lower back to support yourself. What you're going to do, you're going to inhale, keeping your thighs engaged, abdominal muscles and lower back engaged, navel pulled in, and lift your chin and only bend your back as much as you can, using your hands for support, pushing into your lower back. And exit, bring your chin to your chest, slowly roll your spine up, sit back down on your heels, come into child's pose to counter the back extension. Come back to seated. Okay, so there's a couple of variations that we did now. You can try any of them, see how flexible are. You can do all of them if needed. Just remember to warm up properly before you attempt any variation of camel pose. I hope that was helpful, and I'll see you in the next video.